right, it's officially time for a new old house update. We have so many things to update you on, so I'm gonna do a walkthrough. One exciting thing that's happening today is we are finally getting our grading work done outside. Probably only exciting to us, but it's just been such a mess. But there's been a lot more exciting updates. We have cabinetry now. Now it's not fully finished, but it's getting there. All of our flooring has been finished. Light fixtures are in. Let's start at the front door. We still need a doorknob. Here to the right in the living room, see the pocket doors are installed, which they already were. The exciting changes in this room are that we have window trim and we've started painting the windows in here. We also have my antique light fixture hung up. I had several light fixtures that I collected, so it's exciting to see them in their place. When I purchased all of the light fixtures, I didn't really know where each one would go. And I honestly didn't even know until I brought them up from the basement a week or two ago and just put them in each spot. And I really love where they are. So I feel like I don't have any regrets. I don't want to change anything at this point. So the color on these windows is called Paris style brass. Still needs another coat, so it's kind of looking a little bit rough. The trim here is from Kuchen Brothers. So the way this worked is we have here on the bottom, I think it's called Profile 108. I'll make a list and put it down in the description box. We also did what's called a back band around the edges. Luke and I both felt like we had never seen this before, but then it was funny because when we were in our current house where we're living right now, we realized that's exactly what is on the trim there. And it's an actual old house. Brent Hall was the one who helped me pick out the trim profiles from Kuchen Brothers to authentically tell the story that we want for this new old farmhouse. And I really love the way it's turning out. Another little detail is we got these registers. We still have to put the screws in them, but I was just going around the house kind of putting them in place. They are cast iron and I like them because a lot of times old houses have registers that look kind of like this. I have to custom order the ones here for the cold air returns, but I'm doing the same look. So instead of making them blend in, we're kind of going all out with making them stand out instead, which I'm really happy. I like the way that they're turning out. Here's another look at the windowsill. We also got this windowsill profile from Kuchen Brothers. I just love the way the windowsill looks, how it's rounded. This is how it has looked in the old houses we've lived in. So it feels very authentic. Also, the flooring has been refinished in here. This is our heart pine from Red Hills Lumber. Beautiful, beautiful grain. And now that it's been polyurethane, just love it. It will amber more over time. In our last house, we had heart pine with polyurethane on it, and it did become more like amber and orange, which was the look I was going for. All right, here in the entryway, I want to show you the light fixture I chose for in here. So this was another antique fixture. We had the electrician cut it about 12 inches off the top because it was quite long and it was going to hang down way too low. I think at this current time, it's sitting probably about 7 feet above the floor. So even the tallest person won't hit it. I might source some different bulbs because right now they're just regular bulbs, but it's just beautiful. So cute. It has a little wreath, little bow detail. I picked it up from an architectural salvage place. It was already rewired. I did not have any intentions of it going in the entryway, but it feels perfect here. All right, in the kitchen, obviously the flooring is all covered with this ram board to protect it, but it's beautiful. I have more of the cast iron grates from Reggio Registers. This little antique light fixture, again, I didn't know where I was gonna put it, but it just felt like this is a dining room type of chandelier. I like that it has these little details here, these little chains. I love candelabra bulbs because they have a nice glow. Now, when we are doing our electrical plan with the electrician, that involves just one day walking around with an electrician and making tons of huge decisions, which we just did like in one evening. It feels funny. I opted to have more switches, which, you know, I don't like seeing all the switches on the wall. But what I cared about more than that problem was having the option to be able to just do a cozy glow. So I can turn on the candelabra bulbs, like in this one here behind me, this converted gas lamp, as well as this one, and not turn on the 3 overhead lights that we have in here, which is something that I will do a ton, like in the wintertime. When it gets dark really early, I will want to just have this cozy glow in the kitchen when we're not working on anything, just maybe popping in or out to get a snack or just, you know, seeing it from across the house. I love being able to do that, which is why I opted to do more switches, even though they're unsightly, but they kind of just end up being something you ignore. Obviously, the most exciting thing in this kitchen is our cabinetry from Kennebec is mostly in. Now, I thought we were ready for the templating, and we almost were, but then I realized we didn't have the strainer basket for the sink that we bought, which means that we don't know 100% if it can stay exactly where it is, or if it has to get shifted back just like, you know, half an inch or a quarter of an inch. So I can't really have them come template for the marble countertops yet, because once it's cut there behind the sink, it's cut. And so they were gonna come Monday. I pushed them off until that strainer basket comes in. Now, of course, it's kind of special order because I did unlacquered brass faucets. So I had to find unlacquered brass strainer baskets. Now, you wouldn't have to, but that is what I ended up doing. And so it'll be a couple weeks, which is just, in my experience, how building goes. There's so many things I just don't know. Like, I bought the sink, bought the faucet. Oh yeah, I need the strainer basket, but you can get that later just when you plumb it. Well, what if we can't fit it to this edge of the cabinet because, you know, it has a certain little diameter? Anyways, it makes more sense to make sure that you have it. I am running into this kind of thing constantly. Just so many things I just don't know is making it go slower, but it's okay because while we're waiting for that, of course, the guys are working on getting all the trim up around the windows, the baseboards, crown molding, that kind of stuff. So ultimately we're moving forward and trying not to get in a huge hurry. Although there are clearly still a lot of things to do to get this house completed, we actually recently put a bit of a deadline on ourselves because we have renters that are going to be moving into our current house. So we're going to be moving in the nearish future, pretty much no matter what. I want to make our home a bit more comfortable and ready, even though not every part and piece will be 100%. And I had the awesome privilege of partnering with Quince to make our bathrooms more beautiful and more comfortable. Now, I have been loving Quince for a really long time now. I love all of their clothing items. My favorite denim comes from Quince. My favorite dress, I just recently got some sandals from Quince. Even my teenage daughters love their Quince denim. But Quince also has excellent home stuff. The green and white Euro shams on our bed came from Quince. And today I'm putting up some linen shower curtains in our 3 showers, as well as brand new fresh towels, sort of a little housewarming gift to myself, all from Quince. The towels feel fluffy and luxurious. It's been a while since we've put brand new towels in our bathrooms, and moving seemed like an excellent time to really upgrade and do that. Quince is your one-stop destination for high-quality essentials across clothing, home goods, and accessories, all at affordable prices, from 100% grade A Mongolian cashmere and buttery soft bamboo bedding to 14 karat gold jewelry, cast iron Dutch ovens, and Italian leather bags. Quince brings all the high-end essentials together in one place. By working directly with top-tier manufacturers and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you exceptional quality without the markup. Quince only works with manufacturers that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I can sure tell because everything I have gotten from Quince I have loved. It's high quality and surprisingly inexpensive. You can check out all of the things that I picked up for our new home. I will leave links in the description box below. You can also grab the QR code right here to head on over to Quince. Again, thank you so much, Quince, for sponsoring today's video. I know I'll get asked, I used the color Dorset Cream by Farrow & Ball for these yellow cabinets. I plan to do a big kitchen design video where I go way more in depth on why we made the choices we made. Like, we kind of have an unfitted kitchen look in some areas. So over here, obviously we have, you know, the built-in cabinetry, but then we have this hutch that Kennebec made. I was inspired by an Airbnb I stayed in that had a large hutch and sent pictures of that hutch to Kennebec because I wanted something like that for this wall. It's a large wall, so I wanted to be able to utilize it, but I also wanted the piece to look old. I really love how this turned out. I just love it. Now, it doesn't have all the hardware on it or the shelves, so it'll be even prettier. We chose the color English Ochre. I don't think you can see that at all. For the beadboard back, as well as for the drawers. I feel like you could see it a little bit better there. I just love it. It's so pretty. We chose this really tall pantry cabinet here, mostly for food storage. So we put the shelves 18 inches high so I could fit 5-gallon buckets all along the bottom for my bulk grains. I imagine that we will fill this with food and that the actual pantry will be more for extra like gadgets and things. So espresso machine, toaster, instant pot, those types of things, because there'll be outlets in the back of these cabinets. Now, this middle piece here does still have a piece that goes on top of it, but first we have to get a marble piece on top of that centerpiece. So it'll be like a little baker area. We also have this long table, and we had the interior of the drawers also painted with that same English ochre color. And then this piece, we'll get this sink. So we'll have a sink in here as well. And then we also will have a table looking island. It'll have that unfitted look as well because it looks like a table. That was by design. I really wanted this kitchen to have some built-in cabinetry, but then to also sort of have that antique sort of unfitted vibe, which also this wood cook stove will give it that vibe as well because it's standing alone. Over here, it's not like built in with anything else. I found this converted gas lamp as well, architectural salvage. I ordered a medallion because when I came, I noticed that the electrician just kind of put it up in that hole, but it will have a medallion underneath of it. For the ceiling lights in here, we did 3 of these. So we did one over the kitchen sink, one over this opening, and then one over the opening from the front door. And then also there will be sconces here, which I have the sconces, but I had to order a little piece that would cover the whole. Let me show you. So of course, nothing is standard when you're trying to work with architectural salvage. I found an Etsy shop that makes these custom little acrylic things, and they're paintable. So I'm going to paint it the color of the wall, and it'll just slip behind here. I tried to make it as small as it could be while still covering up the hole. I don't know. It might look really stupid and awkward, but it's what we're going to do for now. I don't know. Because this circle was way too small to cover up the electrical, unit or whatever. So this will work nicely for these. And this is the medallion I got for that other gas light. I did order 3 of these thinking, oh, maybe I could use this instead to make it minimal. I honestly kind of find this prettier for the ceiling light. Even though there's a lot more to it, it's less discreet. I didn't think that would work behind these, so that's why I went with this route. This guy does custom on Etsy, so I just ordered 5 inches wide, 3-inch inside, and that's what we're gonna do. So I hope that's enough lighting. We did not do any recessed lighting. It amounts to 2 of these kind of candelabra style lights, 3 ceiling lights, and 2 sconces for the space. I really wanted to be authentically old, which I felt like, old houses just don't have a ton of light. If it ever feels like there's not enough light in here, what you can do is change the bulbs to something brighter. I kind of stuck with the warm lighting right now, just because that's what I prefer. But you can get like fluorescent, super bright, super cool lighting for the ceiling ones, then only use those when you need them. Oh, also we did wire these 2 cabinets above these 2 spots here to have under cabinet lighting. So I really think it'll be plenty. The space I'm very excited about is the mudroom, or as we were calling it on the plan, the mud hall. So let me turn around and go the other way, coming through this back door. When you walk through this back door, which is probably the door we'll use the most for our family, there's this really narrow space, but we made sure to have a nice, little alcove, if you will, I don't know, to put in cabinetry. So what we have here is basically 6 columns, each with a drawer on bottom, a door in the middle, and then another cabinet door on top. I was telling Luke kind of my plan is, first of all, to take out these shelves and put hooks in each one. And then each column will be for 2 people. So this would accommodate, we only have 11 people, but 12 people total. If you did like 2 boys in here, 2 in here, 2 girls here, me and Luke in this one, you could put in here. It's really tall. I don't know if you can see, but the ceilings are 9 feet tall. So these are 9-foot tall units. And so if you had hooks in here, you could do your coveralls, your coats for 2 people very comfortably. Shoes down here, maybe off-season stuff up there. I haven't 100% figured it out, but that is my thought at this current time. Don't think we did much in here except for we got the light fixture. I don't know. I chose in this room like a outdoor light. As you can see, the painter still has to cut in. But I just felt like this room was a fun little laundry room. And for that, I thought this light was really cute. I don't know why. looked cute to me, and so I went for it. And then nothing's changed over here, unfortunately. I wish the bathtub was in. It's not. We got the toilet sitting here. We have a couple of light fixtures and coming soon on all of that. I'm pretty excited about how this space is turning out. This is our bedroom. We've got trim around the windows. Of course, it has to still be painted, like every piece of trim in here. This is another one of my antique light fixtures. A lot of the fixtures in this house, I didn't know where they would go. I kind of always planned on this one going in here. It just looked like a good bedroom chandelier. I love candelabra bulbs. It doesn't hang down that far, so I thought, you know, the other one would be better suited for the dining room, the other chandelier we have. This just feels perfect. It feels elevated, yet still simple, and I think it's beautiful. I also had them wire in a sconce right here. I thought it'd be cute to put a little dresser here right outside of our closet. And so that is the intention of that. That is also an antique find. It was also rewired. I really like our view into the kitchen. I know there'll be a door here, of course. There won't be a door into the kitchen. That's a cased opening. This door here, you know, obviously there'll be one, but I still just, when that's open, looking into that kitchen, to me is just, I just love it so much. Nothing's changing here. I did order the light fixture, but I had not ordered enough light fixtures. And so the electrician left and he'll come back at some point. You know, we're not really waiting on him at this point. I'm having a table made for our sink from Farmhouse Furniture. They're sending that. And then this will go in the marble vanity top. So that whole project coming soon. It's basically going to be a table, a marble vanity top, and then a really cute faucet for our bathroom vanity. I really like nickel and chrome. I didn't want to go crazy on everything being brass. And I was actually already ordering the nickel and chrome for our bathtub. And then I remembered that I had already told the tile guy that we were doing brass in here because of the brass knobs. And so I had to switch directions because I had completely forgotten that I said that. And then I walked in, saw our shower, saw this here. And so I went back and ordered like all the brass. I can't walk in here because this was the last room Luke painted, and he just actually did a second coat yesterday. And linseed oil paint takes forever to dry. For those of you new to this project, we wanted the whole back section of this house to look like an enclosed porch. So that's why the floors are painted like a porch floor. They are fir floors, so they're not the heart pine like the rest of the house that is polyurethane. They are painted fir floors. And we laid them from front to back continuously like a porch would have been. The only change in this room, of course, is painted floor, and our shower is all tiled in. There's still beadboard at the top. I don't remember saying we wanted a recessed light. I'm sure I said that. So there it is. I also had completely forgotten that I had him put 3 switches in here. We did this electrical walkthrough back in June. And so, you know, of course there were so many things. So I ordered a light for this bathroom that had a pull string. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wanna turn only on the 2 sconces by the mirror for like a cozy bath. And then I looked in here the other day and I was like, oh, we did 3 switches so that I could turn on the one in the shower, the overhead, and the candelabra sconces by the mirror separately. So I don't really need the pull chain, but I already ordered it. So I guess we're gonna have a pull chain anyways. That's the thing about building, like you need to keep some kind of detailed record of everything you've said because it happens over an extremely long period of time and you're going back and forth. And I'm sitting there needing to get the rest of the lights ordered finally because I had so many already, but then turns out I didn't have everything. And I'm like, did we do a 3rd switch? I don't think we did a 3rd switch. And instead of going to check, I just ordered the light. Here you have it. All 3 lights can go on separately. The sconces are currently, I can't walk in this room, but that's how they look. I'm going to get little lamp shades for these instead of just leaving just the bulb. And then, you know, there's that. And the pull chain one will go up there. I picked up the rest of the lights that we needed when I realized that I didn't have everything from an Etsy shop. So I'll share more about that when they come in. Construction on these stairs is supposed to start in about 2 weeks because all of the pieces are going to come in. I thought we'd be moved in long before that happened, but we thought we could move in right after the cabinets were done. And this is just the funny part about building. And I'm sure if you built before, you've probably been laughing at me the whole time as I say, oh, we're gonna move in, we're gonna move in. You don't even imagine like the number of things that aren't done yet. So maybe the stairs will be done before we move in. I still don't know what I'm doing with this. This was something that happened in the plan, and I don't hate it, but I also don't really want to make it stand out. Some people said, oh, you should put flooring there. I kind of just want to put some beadboard and paint it and make it disappear. But the thing that we did here is we have these pretty sconces. Now, these are the same ones that are in our bathroom. I ordered 7 of them just to make it easy. I might get some lampshades for them, but we have those 2 there. And then we have 3 going up to the attic. There's 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. And then the other day I went up to the attic and realized, oh, there's a ceiling fixture up there that I forgot about. There's always more lights to order. This bathroom, I believe I've showed you guys the tile. Now, I really debated with this tile on doing something colorful. I picked up some samples from American Restoration Tile. Beautiful colors, loved how it looked. I ended up just going with white and black for a few reasons. One, it was just available and our guy was gonna tile this week. So I was like, okay, I'm trying not to do stuff like that. Like I'm trying to just do exactly what I want and not rush the process. But also I didn't care that much up in the kids' bathrooms. And then also I thought if we ever tire of it, tile's hard to, obviously to redo. So I thought we'd just keep that very basic and then do like fabrics and towels and things like that if you ever want to add color. So our tile guy, I just sent him kind of a pattern I was thinking and he just was able to do this, which was great. I'm pretty sure they just lay it down and then pop out the ones every so often to put the pattern in. It really wasn't something very difficult. And then the showers here, just basic stuff. We just have a tub insert. Then we just did floor to ceiling, subway tile with white grout, really basic hardware in here. For me, the goal with the kids' bathroom was just something easy to clean, easy to maintain. Now I will say penny tile can be very annoying to clean if you get white grout. I love the look of white grout, but we decided to not do it. I did dark grout because it will get dark, it will look terrible, but it's a nice surface with just a vacuum. And the mop thing that we have, I think that this will be fairly okay. I think it really is just the grout that makes it hard, I hope, because I kind of said I wouldn't do tile like this, white tile. But I think it's the grout that's the problem. I was thinking, oh, we shouldn't do white grout in the tub, but then we have white grout in the tub at our current house, and the wall doesn't get that dirty. It's just the floor. So we did it, right or wrong. And then this is the light fixture in here. I ordered some sconces. Originally, I had some that were like the candle style, and then I realized, oh, I must have told him to put them above the mirror. They were way too high. Send those back and get something else. Like I said, just so many things like that where you're like, oh, I think at one point I decided they would go over the mirrors. I ordered some medicine cabinets on Etsy, and they're so cute. They're green, and so that's how I'm gonna bring a little color in here as well. Maybe I'll bring in a rug. I don't know. I'm gonna keep this boys' bathroom kind of clean and stripped back. Here's a really better look at the flooring because we don't have ram board up here because there's really not a whole lot of work going on. The only work going on up here right now is the trimming out the windows. So again, same Kuchen Brother profile here, back band, the window stool that returns back to the wall. Funny story on that. We had done a few windows and I tagged Brent Hall, the guy, for those of you who aren't familiar, he helped me design this house. He has a channel here on YouTube where he talks about all kinds of old house design and restoration and new house. He's an expert when it comes to like building and especially with historic precedent. Anyways, I tagged an Instagram story where we had one of these windows trimmed out and we had the window stool, as it's called from Kuchen Brothers, just cut. And Brent texted me and he was like, I don't know if it's too late, but that should return back to the wall. And I was like, so many times throughout this process, I think I'm not worrying about it. That sounds like too big of a deal. They've already done several windows. And then I was like, no, because it might be an easy fix and I should say something. So I drove right over and I told the builder, and there was several windows that were fully done. He was able to pull it out, like without taking the one off the bottom and the sides, and fix it. He'd only done like 5 windows at that point. So now they're gonna all be right. So yeah, he just had to cut this windowsill at a 45 and then, return this back. It shouldn't just be cut. The profile should carry around. I can't even tell you how many things I thought I knew that I didn't, that I now will know, which is funny because I saw it and I knew something didn't look quite right, but I didn't really know what. And then once Brent said that, I was like, oh, you're so right. So just another lesson throughout this process where so many times you might be tempted, I was tempted to just be like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to drive there at this exact moment and talk about it. I don't want to add more time to this. And then ultimately I'm like, oh, come on, you're gonna be living here forever. Just do it right. Here, we just went with these schoolhouse lights. I found them on Home Depot. Again, I'm trying to stay pretty stripped back, basic, plain, easy to clean in these kids' rooms. For the kids' closets, we're just doing these, like no fixture at all, but they're 9-foot tall ceilings, so you'll never see it. I ordered some medicine cabinets from Magnolia for the girls' bathroom. I had to also pick up different light fixtures because I forgot that theirs would go over the mirror as well. We ordered the vanity, it's not in here yet, so on the next update, it very much should be. And then again, with the bathtub, we just did the exact same thing. Bath insert, floor to ceiling, subway tile, white grout, same light fixture that we have in the downstairs bath and in the kids' bath. Not a super expensive fixture, so if I ever feel like swapping them out, which honestly, I know I won't, I know this will be good enough. I know that like when you're not making these massive decisions, stuff will just kind of blend in and you won't see it. But you absolutely can, if you see something cool along the way as you're antiquing, pick up something different. And I did that in my last house quite a bit. So same floor pattern here, same gray grout to keep it easy to clean. I plan to add a lot of storage. Like for example, this is one of our son's rooms. I'm going to put a cabinet here because it's the girls' bathroom. And so this door will be here in case ever in the future, this isn't my son's room, which will very much happen. Things change constantly. We can have this door here, but for now it'll be storage for the girls' bathroom. Still have a ladybug invasion. I need to clean so many ladybugs. But window trim in this room as well. Finished floors, and that's kind of it. In the attic here, we do have light fixtures. I don't have the shades on them yet, so you can't tell how pretty they are. We ended up doing 2 per attic room, and then we could also, of course, add some lamps as well. All right, well, that's the tour, the walkthrough of where we are now. Where did I think I'd be by now? Moved in, but I love how it's turning out. Everything as it comes together, so beautiful. I'm so happy with it. I really don't think I would change anything right now. I'm sure there'll be a few things I change my mind about as we live here, but stay tuned. We really will move in sometime. We were telling the kids that. We're like, we keep saying it, and we just need to stop talking about it because so many times we thought, oh, it'll, you know, as soon as we do this, we can move in. And I've said it on here before, but there will be a time when it feels right, where we see, okay, this house is more comfortable than the one we're living at now, just because it's on our farm, it's in our house, but it's definitely just not there yet. And we cannot wait. Thank you so much for taking the tour. Stay tuned for more new old farmhouse updates.